Well, hey guys, welcome to Hilltop Machine Works. I am Tom. Come on in. Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. We are back in the shop. I got a small, easy project, so I figured I'd bring you guys along. Let me show you what we're working on here. So, what you're looking at is my bandsaw and the pedestal support I made for it back when I first got it. Problem with 4 feet is obviously you've got this rock. There's always going to be a high point and a low point because 2 of them are going to sit, especially when you got concrete that's leaning. So also when I was cutting the long pieces of square aluminum stock for the C-clamps, I was using this one to hold it all the way out there, but because the flex, I really needed an extra support in the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to build another one. I just finished changing the brakes on my truck, so I've got 4 rotors that we're going to go to the scrap yard, so I figured I might as well use one of them. So what we'll do is we'll use this as a base, cut a sliver of this 1018 off to fill this hole, and then we'll weld that on. We'll weld this puppy on, cut a couple notches, and we'll weld this on, and we'll have us an easy pedestal to hold stock, and obviously this one's not going to wiggle around like this one will. So let me start getting all this stuff cleaned up, and we'll get this banged out. Got you set up over here at the lathe. We're just going to face this thing off, try to get a true surface here. Using my new tool holder for facing that I showed in mail call number 12, I think it was. One more pass, clean it up. The first pass didn't. Got her on auto feed. Got you guys over here at the surface plate. I'm going to use this spacer behind that slug that I just faced. I'm just going to use this to be able to face the other end. Obviously we are going way overboard for this precision, because this is just going to be a holding stock on the bandsaw for a rough cut, but you know, hey, if you're always doing the right thing, then you know, it becomes second nature. So I figured I'd show you guys here how I adjust it. Let me try to get you in a little better so you can kind of see. So just sweeping one and then come back over, sweeping the second one, and then sweeping the third one, and if I need to adjust it, then just slide my wrench under one of these screws, or actually bolt heads, and you know, I can raise or lower it and get her in. Let's see if I can get the dial in a little better there for you. Whoops, wrong way, Tom. But there you go. So you can see, we sweep it, bring it off, check the second leg. Still in frame, yep, and then we'll do the third one. So cool. So that's how I get her totally square with the world. Let's get back over to the lathe. Alrighty, spacer's in, slug is turned around. Let's clean this face up. What do you say? Alrighty, I'm gonna let her run and I'll bring you guys back. Just finished facing her off. Let's get her out and get to that brake rotor, get it all cleaned up. Well, I figured a little overkill never hurt, so what I did is I cut a shoulder on this thing, and then figured we'll slip it in that hole so it'll center up. I think I'm there. Alright, that works. Cool, okay. Let's get over to the welding table. Right, let's get this thing welded up. What do you say? Alrighty, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Got you set up over here at the mill. This will be the vertical support. So now what we need to do is we need to notch the top of the support. So this bar will fit in it. This is actually a piece of pipe. So it's 3/4 ID, and the OD is just an odd, like a 1 and almost a 1 1/16. So got a 1 1/8 roto broach in there. So we'll just cut us basically a half a circle, and same thing down here, running a keyed chuck, because when you're doing the roto broach you want to run a keyed chuck, not a keyless, because otherwise it will really tighten up on you and you'll have a bear of a time trying to get it out of a keyless chuck. So just a little pointer there. So let's get the phase converter on and get cutting. What do you say? I have to slow her down a little bit probably. Not running very true, but they usually don't. A little bit of Earl. Once I get off that radius to get it on a flat surface, it'll work better. There we go. Let me flip her around and get the other. Well, I might be able to get through. Let me see. I don't know if I got enough reach here. Let me see. 3 inches down with the cutter. It'll be close. I guess we can try it. See if we can get past it. Get one of these handles out of the way because it's going to be right in front of the lens. Hang on, I gotta fix this handle here. It's gonna be right in the way of the camera. Go figure. All right. Try to take it slow because you get that inside radius. These rotor broaches are expensive if you bust one. Alright, now we're through. Cool. Alright, let's get this thing cleaned up. Well, I cleaned up the vertical support there and also cleaned up the horizontal support, and she is all ready to weld up. So that's the fixture there. Let me get you in on the closer here. We'll see if I... So there's the V-block kind of holding her down. Let's get her welded up. What do you think? Hopefully it won't move on me. Okay, let me get her taken apart and finish welded up. Okay. Well, hopefully you can see it fairly well. I got my Starrett 24-inch ruler in the bed of the bandsaw, so what I need to do is measure from the floor to the bottom of this to get an idea what our overall length is going to be for our stand. So, let's see what we got here. Try to do it as parallel as possible, or straight, and where we're at. We are at about 21 inches and 5/16. Let me go around and check the back there. I don't know if you'll be able to see me while I'm working, but we'll see. You gotta save the knees too. Put the pad down. Alright, let's see what we got here. Looks like we're about running the same here. Let me see. She's a little bit taller here. So, either the bandsaw is not sitting nice or my floor for the drainage. We're at 21.5 right here. And the roller is sitting down. Alright. Let me play around and check some more stuff. Let me check this other one too and see what I'm working with. Well, I think I have found my culprit. So, using my little Starrett, what's this, number 135. If you put her down here, and I'll bring you up over here, maybe you can see that bubble. So she's not sitting level. I think the problem is when the feet broke on my bandsaw, I made those and put them on, and I don't think I've got them adjusted right, or they have over the years unadjusted. So what we need to do is get that leveled. So I've got a couple parallels here that I bought from an old retired machinist. These are shop made. Pretty cool. Martin Hettich. Thank you, Martin. I'm gonna give these a nice life. Found them on Craigslist. He was selling all his stuff. So what we'll do, we'll just kind of come off the corners, and I want to measure from each side to see how that tilt is. So get an idea about adjusting these feet. Let's see the millimeter side here, so let's do, we'll do millimeters. So we're at 54. Get her straight. 54.7 millimeters. And get down up here. And this is about 54.5, so it's about too high that side. So let's get her adjusted, and then hopefully we'll be cutting straight. Well, we have a little issue here. Obviously this is not a piece of precision machinery, so trying to dial this in, I have adjusted this foot down here, but if you see, this foot is not even on the ground, so obviously this thing is tweaked just a little bit. So it's going to be like that, sitting there. So we may just have to do the best we can and go with it, and then like I said, this will just be a rough cut saw. So just letting you guys know what I'm dealing with over here. Well, as Jim Deadman says on his channel, sometimes projects turn into other projects. So I was thinking, alright, so let's get rid of the 4-point system and we do a 3-point, it may sit better, right? So if I took those 2 feet off and just put one in the middle, which is basically what those wooden blocks are simulating, would maybe that would work. But the problem still is, I don't know, get you in on that bubble here. As you can see, she's still sitting not right. I gotta pull her a fair amount to get her to come over. So the 3-point won't even work. So it looks like we're just gonna have to do the best we can, pick a measurement and go with it. And just always remember that you know, the longer the stock sticks out, the more off it the diagonal cut's going to be there. So that's where we're at. So here I've got about a 4-foot piece of aluminum, about a 1/4 inch thick, put it on the welding table, and it's pretty straight. So you can see this is the one I made and how much room there is, but as you slide her, you know, you get back to here and it's almost supported. So right here at the bandsaw, I'm looking at about 21.5 inches, and then when I come all the way out to here, which is about 3 feet, I'm at 22 inches. So over that distance there, that rise over run, I got a 1/4 inch of change. So we may have to, gosh, I was going to make this a simple project. Make an adjustable stand, which would have been nice if I would have known about this issue to begin with, because we could have redesigned it. So try to save the work that we already have. Let's see what we can come up with, I guess. Well, as luck would have it, I got a piece of 2-inch DOM tubing. It's a 1/4 inch thick wall, left over from a Jeep suspension project. So this will fit perfectly inside this, because tubing is sold by the outer diameter and obviously pipe is sold by the inner diameter. This is 2 inches here, so she'll fit in nice. So this is going to be a seriously over-engineered stock stand. So I guess now we'll figure out the height we want to adjust this. We'll have to drill a hole, weld a nut, and then make some sort of turn knob or screw or something, however I want it, so that way it will lock down on it. So I guess we'll do a little rerouting here, deviation from the project. Sometimes that's the way it is, but you know, hey, it is about 3:45. We got plenty of time in the shop. So let me figure out some measurements and stuff, and I'll bring you back. So I think this is going to be our plan of attack here. This distance here represents the base. That's 3.5 inches, and this would be welded to the base right there. We'll use this whole length. What I've done, measured 21 inches here. If you remembered, it's just 21.5, so we can go 1/2 inch shorter if need be, and I pulled her all the way out to 28. That gives us 7 inches of travel. So this would be the compressed length right here, and we'll extend her out to right there. So, which means I need a cutter right here. This would be the top, which would be in there, so I think we're going to put the nut right there. I'll weld that in, and that will be where our knob is going to be. So, let me get this over to the bandsaw, and we'll just cut that piece off. We are over here at the mill, time to put a hole in this thing. Went and dug into my knobs and hand wheel collection. I always pick up a few of these when they're on sale. So we have us a knob. This is a 3/8 16 thread. So we'll drill a 3/8 hole, and that's where we're going to weld that nut. So easy breezy. Give a drill a fighting chance with this radius here, so just center drilling it. Alrighty, 3/8. And we'll just use this one. This one gotta go down. Easy enough. Let's go weld a nut on her. Alright, let's get this nut welded on. Okay, cool. Well, we got a little color on her, so now we get to just hang out and watch the paint dry. Well, there she is. One adjustable stand. Didn't plan to make an adjustable stand, hoping to make it just an easy stand, but oh well. So, there she is, got the knob on her, so she is ready to work. So anyways, thanks for hanging out in the garage with me and following me along with this project. You know, leave comments, subscribe if you haven't, and let your friends know about my channel. And we'll make some more stuff on the next projects. We'll see you guys.